Onika, you need to come sue TikTok.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And yeah, Nicki Minaj can't sue anything because she sold away her damn publishing rights. But that's beside the point. The point is this: if the U.S. government is always releasing technology 50 years after they've mastered it, then damn, you could fake a plane crashing into a tower, can't you? Carry on. Actually, before you go, with that type of technology and the way that they control 90% of the information that comes in and out of America, you could fake a world war. Now you can carry on.
Nah, they didn't build these cities. These were inherited by different peoples, and then
It's the end of the fucking world, and it will never cease to amaze me how humongous chimeras can constantly, even though they know they're getting further and further away from the illusion that they were the original people, that they created everything. It will never cease to amaze me how they still try to keep themselves in the loop and keep their hands clean. No one, for them to say that they inherited all of this, how can you inherit any of it when you didn't even know how to turn on the damn light switch?
Understand why the teamwork not teamworking.
It's not working for a multitude of reasons. Uh, I'm gonna just give you the top five. Number five, people hate seeing, our people, so-called black people, whatever. They hate seeing us support each other. Number four is the simple fact that we were actually listening to each other and getting good information out. So those who give out the best information are often suppressed the hardest. Number three is quite obviously because TikTok runs this app, and which leads me to number two. We would quite literally become millionaires because we will all continuously help each other become millionaires. Which leads me back to number one. They don't like to see us help each other, support each other, defend each other, uplift each other, and love each other. That's why the team working isn't team working. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And here's a conversation that needs to be had, but everyone keeps avoiding it. Why is no one talking about the fact that the sun is the moon? Why is no one talking about the fact that the sun is the moon? Because think about it. Everyone forgot that we have two suns now. And now all of a sudden we have two moons. And all honesty, I still haven't seen that moon. I'm looking for it. I really am. I'm looking for it. I still haven't seen that second moon, but I'm looking for it. Things are strange, man. Is it God made? Is it man made? Who cares when you can't pay your bills?
Maybe a good reason for y'all to go on strike, but why the fuck ain't nobody said nothing before now?
That is a very, very, very good question. Why in the world after all these years. Why in the world? Because it's not like they haven't been doing it. I mean, they used, when I was growing up as a kid, they would always put it in TV shows, Law and Order, The Wire, The Shield, damn Blue Bloods. The list goes on. Literally, the list goes on about the TV shows and movies that would tell you that they were doing human trafficking through the damn boats. After all these years, why is it that now they want to say something? Maybe that's not it. Maybe they've been saying something. They have been saying something. Y'all don't find it funny that once Ukraine gets called out for organ harvesting, then Is It Real gets called out for organ harvesting, and then America gets called out for organ harvesting. They've been saying something. But when you're trying to take the criminal to court and the criminal knows the judge is his best friend, what can you really do?
You heard this right. We should have joined in. Listen, we see.
And quite honestly, we still can. We can all join in there right now if we really wanted to. I mean, hell, they're already finna fake a food shortage and a food crisis and try to force everyone to get the next hot shot that's about to come out. So yeah, like, we can really do it anytime. But one more thing though, has anybody noticed that it's not cold? We're in October, right? And it's not cold. We're having hurricanes in October, right? And it's not cold. Almost as if CERN doesn't work anymore. And all these damn winters have been fake the whole fucking time. Alright. But yeah, we can join the strike anytime, man. But I say join it after November. Just trust me. It's not like you're finna have a choice anyway. 'Cause like I said, they're gonna fake a food shortage in a minute. All part of my plan. My plan's been working perfectly so far. Hey, it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And this is actually a good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's called Blink Twice. They say it came out in 2024, but I know I saw this in 2014. But and everyone keeps on saying that Diddy has something to do with it, but I don't remember his name being in the credits. I know for a fact his name's not in the credits for this one. I'm trying to see. Can't really remember. But I know this originally came out in 2014. I keep on reiterating this to let everyone know that Hollywood is gone now. Hollywood has been gone for I think the past 15 years. So all you're going to be doing is seeing the same exact thing over and over and over and over because Hollywood's dead. But this was good. Especially with her. I didn't know that she was Lenny Kravitz's daughter. Anyway, this is about these two women meeting up with billionaires. And you know how women are. Get them drunk, get them high, make them feel good, and they'll say yes to anything. So they agreed to go to a private island where there's nobody else but them, no hospital, no restaurant, nobody but them, the billionaires and the servants. And you can only imagine what happened. I'm not going to spoil it, but you can only imagine. Anyway, there is a moment in this movie where they are both drugged. And he says something very interesting to me. One of his friends asked, so they're not going to remember any of this? And he was like, no, they're not going to remember any of this. When they're on the drug, the more trauma you get them, the more they choose to forget. I wonder, does that sound familiar? Hey, it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And it is present time. I just got this in the mail. My bad. But yeah, I just got this in the mail. And yes. Y'all go check them out, obviously. I didn't want to come out. Yeah, I had to get this again. When I was a truck driver, I used to take all my books with me all over the road. And then one day I had gotten into a semi-truck accident and they wouldn't let me take anything out of my truck. So all my books were gone. So now I'm starting over. I'm starting over, and this is gonna be more fun than I thought. I just feel excited for some reason. The nerd in me is just coming out. The nerd in me is returning. I'll tell you something else. I may not be Thoth, but I'm guaranteed to be one of his grandkids.
Truth you've ever heard in one video.
Your people made a cookbook on how to eat my people.
Fuck up all of their Christmas merch. So this specific strike is going to hurt.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And yeah, your Christmas is going to be destroyed, but I don't really care about that. Can anyone tell me what's so important that America's going to shut down if we don't import it? Because as far as I'm concerned, we are a third world country, which means, in Freemason terms, we are strictly export. Because they can't send us anything. We have wood, we have minerals, we can make our own medicine, we can grow our own food. So all you ignorant ass black people, and I call y'all black people because you are the motherfuckers that are still asleep. Us indigenous people, we don't care. Like I said, I've been growing food for damn near a year now. We've been prepared because we've been getting back in touch with God. Because when you get back in touch with God, you grow your food. Anyway, so they're trying to fake a food shortage. That's what all the cows got burnt up for. That's why all the chicken plants got destroyed. They're going to fake a food crisis. And I say fake a food crisis because if you walk deep enough into the woods, you'll find food. So what are y'all freaking out about? Exactly. And none of y'all can tell me what the fuck we import that is so damn scary that we can't do without it.
Columbus dumbass got lost multiple fucking times. He got lost going home, bitch. You knew where you...
Yeah, we're gonna stop that right there. Christopher Columbus was never lost. He was never lost at all. You see, he was a runaway fugitive from this side of the world. In all honesty, he was. He was a thief, he was a swindler, he was a liar, he was a cheat. But one thing he was good at was being a merchant. That's about the only thing he was good at. I still don't know why a lot of people don't realize that America used to have real trade with Europe before the whole World War broke out. Hell, we colonized Europe, actually. I mean, think about it. All those royals used to have peacock feathers. They used to have peacock feathers in their robes, in their, fans, in their hats. Can I ask y'all something? Where the fuck is a peacock doing in Europe? And you already know Europe is 100% import state because it's hard to grow food there. So, where were they getting all these exotic fruits and vegetables from? Where were they getting wood from? But I digress. Christopher Columbus didn't get lost. He was just kicked out of every island that had a wanted poster. Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colbell, is none other than Long John Silver. Hey, it's Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And I had a crazy dream last night. And I'm literally just waking up. And I don't feel like writing it down, so I need some type of record. So, I was going out with my friends in Pensacola, downtown, and we were just walking around, chilling. It was nighttime. And we both had bottles in our hand. Like, I think he had a bottle of gin, and I had a bottle of rum, because I love rum. And we were just walking down the street, and then all of a sudden, the street we started walking down started turning white. And then we ended up in a bar. And we were just surrounded by people, but we couldn't really see them because, they were in the background. It was like I was in the main character position, and everybody else was just, in the background doing a little chit chat. So I was trying to focus in on them, but it was like the more I focused, the more the darker, like the denser the darker it got. You feel me? The darkness got denser, it got thicker. I couldn't see through it anymore. But when I stopped trying to focus, that's when I could see, but I couldn't see. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, me and my friend, we're talking, we're laughing, and all of a sudden, this woman just shows up, and she has like this little small box, and she doesn't sit there, but she like puts the box at my feet, and she gets on the ground, and she just starts praying to me. And I was telling her, like, why are you praying? And she looked at me, but it's like she ignored what I asked her. And she just kept on praying. I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at my friend, and he was like, oh, wow, another one? And I was like, what do you mean another one? He was like, just ignore. They come and they pray, and they'll go away soon. And I was like, what do you mean they come and they pray and then they'll go away soon? And then she just started crying, and I could just feel her praying harder. And then she reached her hands up to me, and I fell into a trance. And it's like the whole room just, how like, and it's like the whole room just went white. And it was just me and her in a room. And she was still kneeling down, bowing to me, praying to me. And I told her I told her my name, but it wasn't my name in the flesh. Like I told her my soul's name. And then I told her my title. I told her I am the great God of prosperity, peace, and lust. You have brought me a gift. What do you need? And she looked at me, eyes wide open. It was as if she was treating me like I was a statue. She was treating me like I was a statue. And when I actually spoke to her, she was just in shock, but she cried even more. And she stood up and she said my soul's name. And then she asked me for something. And here I am. And then I woke up and I got right up on this app so I can remember it. Please tell me I'm not the only one having these type of dreams, man. This shit's it's coming to an end, bruh. And I need to find the soul seeds and not the NPCs. Has anybody else been experiencing deja vu the closer that it gets to the end of November? And I do mean the end of November because for some reason I feel like that's when my memory stops. Like that's as far as it goes. Like I'm almost caught up with time. So yeah. Anybody else feeling a constant deja vu?
This is Mose Wright. I am the uncle of Emmett Lewis Till. Sunday morning about 2:30, someone called at the door. And I said, who is it? And he said, this is Mr. Brian. I want to talk with you and the boy. And when I opened the door, there was a man standing with a pistol in one hand and a flashlight in the other hand. And he asked me, did I have two boys there from Chicago? I told him I have. And he said, I want the boy that done all that talk. And they marched him to the car, and they asked someone there, was this is the right boy? And the answer was, yes. And they drove toward money.
Money to get the products to live, and the cops are saying, no, you can't come in. Keep in mind.
So, to all of y'all in those sundown towns, how that karma feel, bitch? Because it's hilarious to me, man. This Fat Man Buddha, please hit a Buddha. And if you grew up in the South like I did and you've heard the phrase, don't go past the Macy-Dixon line. Because the Confederates are past the Macy-Dixon line. Anytime you want to reach the deep South, you go past the Mason-Dixie line. And I always used to think to myself, like, Mason-Dixie, you know? Dixie's for Eastern Stars, and of course, Mason for Freemason. But it was simpler than that. This is Mr. Smithson, who later became the first Duke of Northumberland, my bad. I watched Game of Thrones and I didn't even recognize the words. Northumberland and Elizabeth Keat Hungerford Macy. Once again, I keep trying to tell people that it's not really called Freemasons, it's called Free My Sons. Why is it called Free My Sons? Because all the knowledge started with women. Therefore, the Eastern Stars are always at the head of Freemasonry before, white people took it over and bastardized it. Now, it says the widow of royal blood, Smithson and his half-brother Henry Louis Dixon inherited a considerable estate from their mother's family. Why the fuck am I like I can't talk? Anyway. How much you want to bet that that considerable inheritance? What if that was the South? So wouldn't that mean that they're actually aboriginals, or what they call us now, black? Because if their mother, damn, didn't Napoleon invade Louisiana because she was the princess of the Midwest? Didn't she own some of the South too?
Throwing me under the bus. Meanwhile, I'm a licensed hairstylist. I've been doing hair since I was 12.
Okay, so we're not trying to throw you under the bus, baby. You say you've been doing hair since you was 12 and you don't know how to make anybody's roots stronger? You've been doing hair since you were 12 and you got a license, but you don't understand how chemicals strip the natural elements out of your hair to thin it out and make it weaker. We're not trying to throw you under the bus, baby. We're saying you're being unfairly biased. Because you sit here and you say you've been doing hair since you were 12 and that you have your license, and yet you don't understand basic fundamentals of chemicals and how it reacts. Didn't the hair straightener company just get sued because all that hair straightener that women were putting in their hair was giving them brain cancer? Because of the thick layer of chemicals that they had over their skull. But that won't have anything to do with hair thinning at all. Meanwhile, Africans still use red clay from the dirt to do their hair, which puts minerals back into your hair to get stronger. Funny thing is, Africans wear more weave than the women do here. Hell, Africans over there bleaching their skin. But I digress. We're not throwing you under the bus, baby. We just want you to stop being unfairly biased about some shit that you should know about. The fuck? So, the Confederate gold was removed from Georgia. And could they be trying to steal one last time? I mean, they've been stealing, but are they really gonna steal this time? Y'all get ready. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and I'm just sick and tired of the fear mongering. So we're gonna do this little breakdown of what exactly does the U.S., we North America, the most fertile land in the world. What in the world is everybody so worried about us starving for? So let's take a look. So we get fruits and vegetables from Mexico and Canada. I could have sworn y'all could have walked to Mexico and Canada, especially if you're in the South. You're right next to Mexico. We get meat and fish from Canada. I could have sworn we had wildlife down here. We could go hunting and go fishing. There's people in Louisiana fishing in the back of their projects right now. So we import coffee, chocolate, and rubber. Okay, I'm pretty sure we have something here in the United States that can supplement all three of those things. We also import tree nuts, salad, cooking oils, and sweeteners and sugar. But we grow sugar cane. So, and as far as cooking oil goes, I'm pretty sure we can find grease somewhere. And a salad. What are y'all worried about? Honestly, what are y'all worried about? This is America. Like, stop thinking like you're one of them and start thinking. You understand? Everyone's saying the same, oh, the ports are about to close. We should all be worried. Only reason why I said be worried about the ports being closed is because that means that everyone's going to take a step further to a land invasion. That's all. They want you to fucking sit here and worry as if we're going to starve. Okay, Walmart goes out of food. Target goes out of food. So what about all the farmers whose crops are still going to be in season, by the way? What's going to happen to all their crops? Are they just going to not sell you anything because Walmart is out of food? Because Walmart doesn't have the money to pay the farmers? Y'all gotta think, man. And no one has yet answered that question. What food is so important to the U.S. people that we cannot produce here of our own? You have to explain that we can't produce this type of food. What is so important? What is so important that with the ports closing down, you can't replace it with something here? Okay.
Y'all, I do not know who Mother Nature has a fucking vendetta against right now, but she is going...
I'm pretty sure she has a vendetta against you and all of your white people. I'm pretty sure that Mother Nature is just all around just tired of you people. You are going through something that you rightfully deserve, you know. In all honesty, you rightfully deserve a whole lot more, and it is coming. It is coming. But to sit here when you're broke, you're going homeless, your children are starving, and you people still find time to be racist. This country is literally falling apart, and all of you are about to be forced into a draft to go die for people who don't like you. And you still have time to be racist. Tell me, white people, don't you find it funny that after North Carolina lynched someone, all of a sudden you get 3 hurricanes back to back? Matter of fact, didn't something like this happen about 100 years ago? I think you should look up your history, because you're really standing in the middle of a lake if you think about it.
And the cities that are diverse are getting flooding, but not too bad.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And my people, you have to really think about this. Like, you have to really think about this. Because when you go back and you look at history, you do realize that we never asked for integration. They forced integration on us. So think real hard about this. Why would you force somebody that you don't like to be around you at a constant basis unless they are protecting you from something? What if we were protecting them from a drought? What if we were protecting them from hurricanes, from tornadoes? What if we were protecting them from God? Because God couldn't touch our enemies so long as we were in the midst of them. Think about that for a second. Think about the pure destruction that you're witnessing right now for all these sundown towns that did such heinous acts. And because we're not there to protect them, God is finally destroying them. So what if every last one of us got up and moved to the South from all over America? If we all just got up at one time and moved to the South, there's plenty of room. What do you think God will do? What do you really think God would do if we remove ourselves from white people and let them be alone with God? Because so far, when white people are left alone with God, from what I've seen, he beats their ass. What do you think? Hey, does anybody else have military planes flying over their house? Like, y'all let me know like what's going on, because there's a lot of military activity going on, and if you really listening, you feel me? If you really listening, and I'm talking about these are the type of motherfucking military planes that have the little sonar boom on it. So they have the little white light on it. So that means that they're listening for something. And they just and they just keep flying over. They just keep flying over. It's like 3 of them. They think I'm not paying attention, but I'm paying attention. It's like 3 different helicopters, all military grade, but only two of them has a sonar boom on them, and the other one is for like high sonar reconnaissance, because it flies above the clouds that they created. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Operation Endgame. This is it, y'all. I hope that everybody's ready for it. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. Good night.
Hire our skin color to tell lies to the whole world.
And that's exactly the point, my brother. Just like you said, everyone got paid to tell a motherfucking lie. So what does that mean? Did you know that the only thing that's not for sale is happiness? That's the only thing in this world that's not for sale. Except there's one more thing. The truth. The truth is not for sale. Look at Umar Johnson. He thought that he could get away with selling the truth. And now, all he does is sell a loop of lies. Understand this is serious, cuzzo. The truth is not for sale. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and I have a question. Has anybody heard from Africa? Has anybody heard from anybody from the UK? Nothing, right? All that hate they had just disappeared, didn't it? I'm going to say it again. They sat here on this app trying to sell hate, and hateful things happened to them. They were trying to sell hate against us in the UK, UK started dealing with a race riot. They're still dealing with a race riot. You haven't heard it stop yet. And as for Africa, who was calling us colonizers, all of West Africa is going through a revolution. All of East Africa is going through a flood. All of South Africa is about to go through a drought. And China is in control of the African military, or half of it, and now owns about 7 African countries for the next 25 years. Yeah, so has anyone heard from them? Because ever since the truth got out, they've been really quiet. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And you know what I just thought about? Because I can't stop wrapping my head around it. We live in North America. North America is a 100% export state, which means that no matter how many docks they close off, we can provide for ourselves because we provide for the world. We have the most fresh water in the world, the most fertile land in the world. We provide the most vegetables, the most fruit, the most wheat. We provide the most trees. Next to the Amazon. So, wouldn't that mean that they're faking a food crisis? Wouldn't that mean that they're really starving out the world? When they closed their docks October 1st, wouldn't that mean that America would systematically be starving out the world? Because we have 60% of everything. And South America and Africa share the other two. So, damn. Wouldn't that mean that America is threatening to starve the world?
Keep asking me if it's safe to visit Mexico. You're a black person living in the USA.
Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha, and that man is absolutely right. Why the fuck are you saying or asking, is it safe to visit any place when you live in a place that is going through a genocide? We have went through every pandemic before the entire world has. We went through the crack pandemic, now they call it the opioid pandemic. We went through a prostitution pandemic, now they call it OnlyFans. You understand what I'm saying? There is no reason that you should be in fear of anything. Of
anything. We have survived every pandemic in the fucking world because we started that shit. And they started all that shit just to fucking kill us. Do you understand how fucking strong you are? Do you understand the amount of PTSD that has been passed down to you over generations? These people can't begin to understand what the fuck it's like to be you. To be referred to as a black anything in this country is to be referred to as both a blessing and a fucking curse. People can't imagine what it's like to be in your skin day in and day out, having to go through subliminal hatred. Fuck saying subliminal racist. Let's just call it what the fuck it is. It's subliminal hatred. Fuck it. Let's call it what it really is. It's subliminal envy. Every motherfucking day you wake up and you face subliminal envy because motherfuckers cannot be as strong as you are in your motherfucking skin. Can you imagine that? You have survived so much hatred and so much death and so much bullshit that people now envy who you are, because who you are is a symbol of how strong they wish they could be. And you scared to travel. And you scared to go see the world. And you scared of this and you scared of that. What the fuck can they do to you now, motherfucker? They've taken your fucking country from you and buried it underneath your feet and you don't even realize it yet. That's some deep shit. That's something that you can't even fucking imagine, but yet you live it every motherfucking day of your life. And you wonder why the world envies you, Tartarian. You're not broke at all. Every fucking day of your life you walk over diamonds and emeralds and gold and sapphires and rubies and oxens. Every fucking day. Just dig deep enough. When the banks say that they're closed, start digging. Who's gonna stop you? Everybody's in a panic. Start digging, and I bet you'll hit gold. I'm finna start digging. What do you mean? That's my next step. I'm finna start digging, and I bet you I hit gold. Understand how rich you are. We are 100% export. We are 100% export. We feed 6 nations. What are you panicking for? But they say we got no culture though. What the Fuck is y'all doing now, bitch?
October 1st is the day that our ports are supposed to shut.
I'm not saying be prepared or anything. I'm just saying, you know, be prepared for anything. You can do both. You can work a job and still be prepared for the end of the world. Hell, if you have a job, that's better. You can buy supplies a lot faster and a lot bigger. 'Cause baby, after October 1st, boy, I say we got until about January 2025. That food gonna run out quick. Question though, why is an export nation importing food? That's the real question. Why is an export nation importing food? Anyway, just be prepared. So people who create enough food off the land, makes enough food to send it to another nation, feed two nations actually, because we're feeding Ukraine, we're feeding Israel, and I think we're feeding France or England. So we're feeding three nations, but we're importing food. Okay. And you notice how they try to do this shit in the winter time, not in the summertime. Okay. That shit crazy. This is Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha, and London Bridge is burning down. Burning down. Burning down. And this Fat Man Buddha, please say the Buddha, and I have a question for all of y'all. And it's just something I just really want to ask. Do y'all think white people going to heaven? I mean, in all honesty, do y'all really think that white people going to heaven? Because I just can't see a heaven with white people in it. And honestly, I don't think white people can see a heaven with white people in it. So y'all leave a comment, yes or no, if y'all think white people going to heaven.
European immigration while banning the immigration of non-white.
I'm telling you, man, we getting closer. We getting closer to figuring some shit out, but and by figuring some shit out, somebody gonna end up leaving. Yeah. It's a beautiful day, bro. Hey, this is Fat Man Buddha. Please say the Buddha. And this is something that I've always talked about and wondered about. Because there is another way that white people could have got here. Which is why I always tell y'all that albinos are a very key part of history. And somehow they've faded into the background of history, which is strange. Like I've already said, albinos were were known to be the first alchemists of the world. They were always the mystics. That's why the Africans were hunting them in Africa. You didn't know that, huh? Africans used to hunt albinos, and not in the 1800s. I'm talking about in 2011. Yeah. They often said that albinos were made of magic, and that albinos could grant wishes if you catch them. Treated them like leprechauns almost. Africans are weird. But in our society, albinos will have prominent positions, being mayors, lawyers, even a president or two. But see, there was a problem. There was a rebellion going on. And it was a rebellion against the albinos. See, I often think that Pompeii was actually ruled by albinos. There were some rumors that the people who ruled Pompeii had blue eyes. You don't always have to have blonde hair to fit the category of an albino. Did you know that there's such a thing as natural blood transfusion? We used to practice natural blood transfusion. We would trade some of West Africa with some of East, South America. You will see they share a lot of the same heritage, a lot of the same cultures, language, how you count. Ask them how they count to 5. Go see. So, albinos, when they mix pure, they have a shorter lineage than others. And then Queen Charlotte happened. And Queen Charlotte was a good thing. Because you see, Queen Charlotte was rare. Queen Charlotte was the perfect blend of us and the albinos. And because she came from 2 great houses already, which means that she was going to inherit a nation, it was very important for people to see her. Queen Charlotte ruled. But you see, Queen Charlotte is the key to the Masonic War.